In this video, I'm gonna show you how to use Claude Opus 4.8, which has just been released, for algo trading in Python. This model is supposed to be the best one that the money can buy at the moment, and is supposedly the king. And we're gonna use it to write trading strategies, to backtest them, to iterate over them until it improves the results. And not only that, we will also ask the agent to ensure that the inter rules of the strategy that it has wrote for us has some statistical meaning and that they are not pure noise or some lucky results. And in the end, I will also go through my process of running the Monte Carlo simulation in order to decide whether or not the results that I'm getting is good enough for running it live. And before we continue, I gotta say I'm not a financial advisor and this video is for educational only. Alright, I'm super psyched, so let's get right into it. Now, one question that you need to answer is how you're going to get access to Opus 4.8, because it is one of the most expensive models at the moment and it is not affordable just for everybody. However, my favorite way of using it is through the Claude Code subscription, which gives us generous limits. However, we do need to talk about which plan you need to get, and realistically, if you want to use Claude Opus and not hit the limits right away, you're gonna need the max plan. Now, there are two max plans, $100 and $200. I am on the $100 plan and I couldn't be happier about it. I have never hit the limits and it is perfect. But if this isn't affordable for you, yes, you can go with the Pro plan, but chances are that you will hit the limits. Now, there are multiple ways to use Claude Code. One is to use their desktop app and the other is to use it via the terminal. And I'm using the terminal one because I find it to be a little bit faster. So first things first, we're going to use the Jessie framework for the algo trading part, which we also expose an MCP, which we can use to connect to Claude Code. And the way I'm going to run Claude Code is via the terminal. Before I do that, we're going to have to use the MCP which Jessie exposes. So if I open my terminal and simply run Jessie run, it's going to start the Jessie dashboard, and here's the address for the dashboard itself, and here's the address for the MCP. So this is going to be the one that I'm going to use. Now, if you check out the documentation for Jessie's MCP under the connect in Claude Code, you can see this is the sole command that we're going to have to run. So inside my terminal, I'm going to have to paste this command. And if you remember, for me, this port was a little bit different because I had changed it inside the .mv file of my project. So it is 9000. So it's going to be like this. I have already done this, so I don't have to do it again. And that's it, guys. Now I am ready to run the Claude Code inside the terminal, which is inside the directory, which I have Jessie installed. Next, I'm going to ensure that I have selected the Opus 4.8 as the model for this session. Now, before we continue, I want to ensure that the agent is going to follow the agents.md file of my project, which is basically telling the model how to behave. Now, this file is shipped with every Jessie project, and whenever you update your Jessie, it will also update this file automatically. So you do not need to worry about this much. We can just close it. And here I'm going to simply attach it to my current session. Next, I'm going to simply say, write a trend following strategy for 2024 on the BTC USDT market. Once you write the strategy, run, execute a rule validation test to ensure the inter rule of the strategy has statistical significance and isn't random noise. If it failed, tell me about it and then continue iterating over the inter rules until you get it right. Once it does pass the test, run a backtest on it and show me the results. So here's the thing, guys. I'm not asking the agent to do everything all at once. I could simply tell it to continue iterating over until the backtest also looks great on that period. But I'm not going to do that because I want to show you how you can utilize this agent thing to develop your own strategies step by step. So even if you, for example, don't really know what this test is, or if you're not getting good results in the backtest and you're wondering what to do next, we can still use this thing. All right, let's hit enter and see what it does. All right, so it decided to create a Donchian breakout strategy plus the EMA for the trend, and it's saying that the long entry is going to be whenever the candle closes above the prior breakout period high and the close is bigger than the current trend period using the EMA. It's creating the significance test, it ran it, and it says that it's passed. So the p-value is almost 0, so it is definitely less than this value, which is our threshold, which means that the inter-rule does indeed have statistical significance. Now, here's what I meant earlier. Even if you do not know how to read the results of a significance test, you can read the guidelines that the agent wrote for you. So for instance, it's telling me that the Donchian breakout plus EMA trend entry is not random noise. It beats every one of the 2000 random entry variants. So because it did this, we can conclude that the entry rule of the strategy was not random noise. Now, if you do not understand how this test works, that's okay. I'm going to create a video about it in the future. But for now, what's important is you learn how to use it And the fact that even if you do not know that, the agent is able to do it for you is absolutely amazing. Next, we can see that the model did the position sizing of the strategy, because you see so far it only had written the enter rule of the strategy. It's only after this, after ensuring the enter rule is not pure noise and it does have some edge, that's when it decided to continue to write the position sizing and the exit rules of the strategy. Next, it is creating the backtest for BTC/USDT on the 30 minutes time frame for the full year of 2024. It is running the backtest. It keeps checking the results, and then it says the results are ready, and here we should be able to read the results. Now, by the way, it is also writing a report inside this file. So even if you want to see what exactly the model did later and you lost access to these logs, you can absolutely do that. Right, so here's the results for that rule significance test again, and here's the full backtest results. So we can see the net profit is absolutely negative. The total trades is a huge number, 208, and the average win to loss ratio is 2.20, which is typical in a trend following strategy. All right, so the results are negative so far. So let's see if we can ask the model to improve it. It's also giving me its honest takeaway, which is really nice. And this is actually an important thing, which is just because the strategy's entry has an edge, it doesn't mean that the strategy is going to print money. In this case, for example, the strategy is actually losing money because the strategy is executing too many trades. Now, this is a classic thing in strategies, and whenever this happens, usually I add a couple of filters in order to improve the results and, take the less amount of trades and pay less amount of trading fees. Now, in the end, it's actually asking me if I want to iterate the full strategy in order to improve the results, and that's exactly what I want to do, so I'm going to ask the model to do that. Please iterate over the results 3 more times and try to improve it, and then compare the results and show them to me to see which one looks better. Now, whenever you do, first run a significance test to ensure that new iteration not pure noise and it does have an edge before continuing to the backtest. Alright, so while this is going, let's take a look at here. So the strategies folder, we can see a new strategy have been created called BTC Trend 30 minutes. And inside it, we have this init file, which is where it defined the properties of the strategy. We can see how it defined the Dungeon channel, the trend EMA, the ATR. Here are the enter rules of the strategy. So for example, for the shoot long, it's simply saying, I want to go long whenever the closing price is above the prior high, which it is using the Dungeon channel again. And the current closing price is above the current trend EMA value. For a short entry, it's doing the opposite, and here we can see how it's doing the position sizing. So it's simply saying that for the entry, I want to use the current price, which is the market order. For the stop, it's using the current entry minus the current ATR multiplied by a stop ATR multiplier. So let's see what this value is. Okay, so by default, it is set to 2. And next for the quantity, it is using the risk to quantity utility function of Jesse. It's passing the current available margin, the risk percentage, which it has set to 2%, and the entry, the stop price, which we calculated here, and then it is setting the fee price. So this is absolutely correct. Then it is submitting the buy order using the quantity and the entry, and it is also submitting the stop loss here. Now, it did not need to define this since we are using a market order, so there's not going to be any cancellation for the entry. And then the update position function, which is what we execute whenever a new candle closes while we have an open position. So it's saying that if it's a long position, the exit price is going to be the Dungeon channel's lower band, and if the closing price is below that, then we want to liquidate the current position. And for a short position, obviously, it's doing the opposite. That's it. So this is a pretty simple strategy, and I would say a classic one. All right, let's take a look at what the agent did so far. So it looks like it defined 3 variants. So it's calling them V2, V3, and V4. Next, it is also comparing the results of their RST test, which again is the rule significance test, and all of them are passing. Now, by the way, if you take a look at this value here, you can see the annualized return of them are different, but I wouldn't necessarily say that like one is better than the other because of this. Okay, so all that I need to see with the RST test is whether or not the strategy's entry has some edge, so I can continue to define the exit rules of the strategy. That's it. Because if it tells me that it doesn't, it could just mean that my entry rules are just some lucky guess. So for example, if I have a strategy that always goes long, of course during a bull run it's gonna make me money, but it doesn't mean that it does actually have some predictive power. Right, it finished the results, and here's again the table for the RSC test, and here's the table for the backtest results. And we can see it is comparing the V1 of the strategy, V2, V3, and V4. So 4 different variants. It's telling me which one looks better. So the variant 3 is actually profitable. It has a Sharpe ratio of 2.11, which is absolutely amazing. The max drawdown is only minus 17%, which is great. The number of trades is 86, which actually makes a lot of sense. The win rate is low, which makes sense for a trend following strategy, especially if the average win to loss ratio number is high, which we can see here it is near 4. So of course this makes sense. And here's another cool thing that was added to Jesse's MCP recently. After it is done, it will also print out the URL to the dashboard. So for example, for the V3, I can click on this URL and it will open the dashboard of Jesse, so I can look at some charts. So for example, here's the equity curve, here's the log scale version of it, and here is the 5 worst drawdown periods of the same strat, and here is the monthly returns of the strategy. So as you can see, even though it is doing absolutely awesome in 3 months, in some other months it's actually negative, which is a typical thing with a trend following strategy. As you can see, the agent is also writing some summaries of like what the strategy's rules are about, what is doing, and things like that. And if I want to, I can also click on this and view the interactive charts. So for example, I can take a look at the trades that we took. So for example, in this one, if I click here, it will take me to when the position was open and when it was closed. So as you can see, yes, this was a clear uptrend moment, and it makes sense that in these ones it is losing money because this is a ranging period. Let's take a look at another one. So this one, for example, it went long here and it closed it here. Let's take a look at the losing one, such as this one. So you see it opened it here, but it closed it here. Now, by the way, because it opened at the closing price of this candle and at the closing price of this one, so that's why we actually lost money, because if we had entered it here and closed it here, it would have been a tie or maybe a small win. Right, so back to the terminal. So it's telling me that the V3 actually wins. It has the highest net profit and the best risk adjusted metrics such as the Sharpe ratio. So it basically concluded everything that I just said. So even if you do not know how to read a Sharpe ratio, the agent does. Now, by the way, the strategy that it wrote actually looks really good. So I'm happy with the results of the Opus 4.8 model so far. And it's also telling me what fixed the results. So what actually fixed it is that the entry signal was never the problem. So the RSC proved it every time. V1 bled out from shorts in a bull year. A 2-tide exit plus fee drag. Removing shorts and widening the exit flipped from this value into a positive one. A slower candle breakout added the rest. However, as you probably know, we cannot trust the result of the backtest just yet and go to live trading with it. We also need to run a Monte Carlo test at the very least, of course, to make sure the result of the strategy is not overfit. And in fact, that's what the agent is also telling me. So one honest caveat. 2024 was a strong uptrend, which flatters a long-only trend follower. Want me to Monte Carlo V3 overfit check and validate it out of sample on 2023 and 2025 before you start these numbers? Now, we could ask the model to also run the Monte Carlo, and that's exactly what I did, but there was a problem with it. So I'm going to try running it manually on the dashboard of Jesse. So here's the exchange that I've chosen, the BTC USDT route, and let's change this into 30 minutes. I have chosen the BTC trend 30-minute V3 strategy, which is what the agent made for us, and I have picked the entire 2024. Now we are ready to start the Monte Carlo test. So the Monte Carlo trades is over. So this one is always really fast, and what it basically gives us is what would have happened if the order at which we took the trades were different. So for example, if instead of beginning with the winning trades, if we started with losing ones, like if that was the case, what would have been the max drawdown of the strategy? And in that case, were we prepared for it? So basically this is for the position sizing of the strategy, and it's telling me that in the worst 5%, my max drawdown would have been minus 23%, but in the original backtest it was only minus 17%. We could have also been luckier, like in the best 5%, and in that case it would have been minus 8.5%. But the thing that I really want to know is the Monte Carlo of candles, which is where we execute a Monte Carlo simulation by using synthetic data which has been created based on the original data of the market. So this one is basically like a stress test for the strategy in order to see how robust it is, which also tells us whether or not it is overfit or not. So as you can see, this one's taking longer, which makes perfect sense. Now, while that's going, I want to quickly remind you guys about our Telegram. It's the fastest way to get notified about my future work, whether it's a new tutorial or a tool that I create. Also, don't forget to check out our free Discord, where more than 5,000 members like you and I are hanging out there and helping out each other with algo trading so we can all succeed together. The links for both are down in the description. Alright, the candles Monte Carlo is over. Here we can see the chart. The yellow line is the original backtest and these blue lines are the simulations. Now the fact that the original backtest lines is almost in the middle is a good sign. If we take a look at the results table, we can see that the original backtest Sharpe ratio was 2.48, while the best 5% was 3.41. And the fact that this one's lower than this is a good sign. So I wouldn't say the results are overfit. However, the median number is 1.87 and this one is lower than the one for the original backtest. So the original backtest results is somewhere between these two numbers. So again, I wouldn't say it's overfit, but I wouldn't say it is like super robust either. So that's it guys. This is how I personally read the Monte Carlo results in order to take a guess at whether or not the results of the strategy are going to be as good in the live trading as what I'm seeing in the backtest. However, let's go to the history because I want to show you the results of the V3 in 2024, and also I'm gonna add two more. So this one being in 2023, let's ensure the fast mode is on. I don't need the interactive charts anymore. Alright, so let's run this. And I'm gonna run another one, this time for 2025. So let's run it. There we go. So here's the result for 2023. And as you can see, again, it is profitable. So it's making 62%. Alright, so let's go to 2025. The strategy is falling apart if we are not in a clear uptrend. This by its own could be enough reason to not jump into trading this strategy live yet. I would personally say that it is not ready for production and it needs further work, because even if you are not in a clear uptrend, I would prefer the strategy not to at least lose a lot of money in that period. Or of course, we could also develop a short only strategy to run besides this one to make up for the losses of this one. Now I am going to submit the result of the strategy to our strategies page where you can see and browse other strategies that I've developed before. If you click on them, you can see the results of their metrics on different periods and symbols or timeframes. So feel free to check out that page as well. And that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and the experiment that we just did. And don't forget that the whole point of this was not to give you one strategy, it was to give you a tool which can save you countless hours when developing and evaluating your own strategies. Alright, let's pick the winner from the previous video. The winner is, as always, Saleh. Thank you so much for your comment. Please reach out to me so I can send you your bonk tokens. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.